Hi there, this is J. Manuel Hodge, your Doctor of Metaphysics in Divinities and your Integrative Medicine Physician. Now, I want to introduce you to Meta Healing Balancing Center. And this introduction is just to give a general idea of what Meta Healing is in the focus of Meta Healing Balancing Center, and how that comes together to produce multidimensional healing. So, one of the things that I found that I love when people are like, well, what is metaphysics? Now, tell me, what do you think metaphysics is? Yeah, it is the origins, the source, the beginnings of different sources, and it can be in any aspect of life, all right? In any aspect of life, we have metaphysics, and we work within the framework of metaphysics. However, metaphysics speaks of the origin and the continuation and replication of life on many different levels, layers, or divisions. And so you may hear stuff like the flower of life, the tree of life, the macabre, the dodecahedrons. You may see symbols and sigils and different things along those lines. Now, meta healing is about bringing all those multidimensional layers that have been expressions of what the meaning of these different layers are in regards to the body, in regards to how we can recognize that every aspect of what has happened within our lives from birth to present in this physical incarnality of our human expression, in this incarnate, from birth to present, every experience leaves a mark or a hold or a tightness or a trauma that registers on the physical body. All right. And so meta healing is about understanding how to keep the lesson and remove the scar. In other words, in terms of our mental, our physical, and our more esoteric beings and layers. And so the educational aspect of multi-layered healing or meta healing is understanding what those common associations to that corresponds with different aspects of the body, what it means, what it's telling you, what's the pros, what's the cons, all right, and how to balance it. Now, one of the things that I have found is that in Chinese medicine, which is my wheelhouse, it has explained to me and previewed to me, or was the first real concrete comprehension for me of all these multidimensional layers. And it expresses it in a very clear way. And granted, this expression is expressed in the macabre, in the Kabbalic expressions. This expression is the same within most practices that you'll find, especially those ritualistic or deep knowledge practices and explanations of how the world works in the universe and all of these different aspects. And in looking at Chinese medicine, it was the catalyst, so to speak, catalyst for me to be able to express and see and understand the expression of multi-layered, multi-dimensional healing, and recognizing that the first law of the universe is mind. Now, the first law of the universe is mind. What does that mean? Now, when we look at multidimensional healing, we're thinking mind, mind. What is mind? Mind is thought. What is thought? Thought is energy. What is energy? Energy is everything. All right? So, in essence, the first universal law is energy. And that energy is everything. All right? And so as we roll along, we can go through universal laws and universal principles to show what it is we're working with. All right? And now with meta healing, it's about, okay, if everything is energy, and that means mind, thought, body, physicality, action, doing, that means feelings. Everything is an energy. An energy that's vibrating at a particular level. Now, in meta healing, is learning how to harness that energy and how to respond or act rather than react, so that we can create a space of preventative care for ourselves and recuperative care for others, in helping them come into balance. And so when we utilize the universal principles, and meta healing really speaks to the consistency of the universal principles that we of course so give me 1 second, let me catch my thought, because I wanted to get into the universal principles that helps us to understand what we're utilizing and what we're using as our guiding basis when it comes to meta healing, which I'd like to think that utilizing universal principle, universal law is the best way to bypass, in my opinion, all the distractive conversations that come in about religion and politics and all these other things that exist to fuel, in my opinion, the distraction of us. Now, and granted, just to preface that, you know, we all are here to learn how to overcome our distractions and create that which we know within spirit, within self, that the most high or the most divine expression of ourselves can be. I'd like to think that we are striving to be our individual best selves, whatever that best is. And meta healing is just another way of tuning in to understanding true balance, and how balance is in every aspect you can find and create balance. Now note, in finding balance does not mean that you eliminate imbalance, because everything in life flows pretty much like on a pendulum. And the idea is using it, all right, and recognizing that every adversity is actually an opportunity, all right, for you to learn something new, all right? Every hardship is a gift to show you how strong you are. And every misunderstanding and mistake is a blessing to help sharpen you to being more aware. Now, I find that the lesson that sticks is the one that hurts the most, unfortunately. All right? The one that we feel the most oftentimes. And I'm not saying seek out pain, I'm just saying look at the way we view our pain is very interesting, but we'll get into the whole concept of pain and stuff like that later. I just wanted to express the universal laws, all right, now that we're utilizing within metta healing, all right. So as I said, that first universal law is mind, or in some cases they call it divine oneness, all right, which is mind, which is thought, which is energy, as I expressed, all right? Now, the second universal law is vibrations, all right? And as we move throughout life, we all vibrate at different vibrations at different points in time. All right, and these vibrations can be high, they can be low, they can be intimate. When no matter what vibration you are at, when you meet another vibration that's not vibing on the same vibration that you're vibrating, there is bound to be some form of explosion, interaction, shift, change, or modulation to that vibration. And so I want you to be aware that the aspect of vibration within metta healing is understanding what vibration you want to be at. All right, and even if you don't know, it's about bringing you into balance. And to find balance, oftentimes you need clarity. You need to release that weight that we're holding, to lower our guard for a moment. And so in order to create the vibratory state for healing, balance, and understanding, we utilize breath. Because breath is the thing that penetrates every level of our being. All right? So breath is, in some cases, physical energy. All right? So it is the tool that we can utilize to get us to whatever point or whatever state we need to, if we learn how to utilize and target that breath. So within metta healing, when we think about vibrations, we think about breath and sound, all right, and tempo and rhythm. There's just where we want things to be, and how to create the pitch necessary for healing, for moving, for alleviating. All right, and so within looking at the universal laws and the universal principles, we have specific practices and specific techniques that aid you in the process of applying these principles to your personal self. And from there, applying it to others if you are inclined to care, which care is also very important. All right, doing stuff to help you improve your ability to care all starts with the breath. All right, and so we understand that the first universal law is mind, or divine oneness, or thought, or energy. Right? And we understand that the second universal law is vibration. All right? That tempo, that rhythm, that vibratory space that promotes calmness, relaxation to the mind, the body, and the being. All right? And then one I think is one of the most important, not the most important, but one of the most important aspects is the third universal law, which is action. All right? Putting into action that thought, that vibration, putting it into a specific action to create a result. And in meta healing, of course, that result is balance or healing, hence Meta Healing Balancing Center. All right? And so putting into action these techniques and practices and modalities that seek to alleviate and create balance from imbalance. All right? And so we will be showing you what are the actual actions that you need to take. That is the same. It corresponds to the different aspects of awareness that exist, those different layers, all right, of life. And so I want to express how important it is to take action. And sometimes you just don't feel like being action, just taking action. All right. Oftentimes we have amazing, wonderful ideas. All right. We have amazing, wonderful epiphanies in life, but we don't act on it. And it's the lack of action, I think, that creates a lot of our individual frustrations, because we're not taking action on what we're hearing. All right? That thought, that energy, and that vibration that's coming to us, we're not taking action. All right? And so in learning to be a meta healing balancing professional, one of the things that we express is showing not just how to get your thought in that direction, all right, that forward moving direction of the desired being, self, all right. And when I say the desired being in self, I truly believe each one of us is a universe, all right. And it is expressed in the Vesica Pisces, where it shows us as the one, all right, and our ability to replicate through thought and thought, energy, and action. All right, how we're able to create with these first three principles: taking thought, creating the energy, and the action, meaning the specific tools that we implement, the specific techniques that we implement to bring about balance. And of course, those techniques have to be with breath, because breathing, exhale. Actually, let's have us do 3 breaths, all right? And just as a precursor, I want you to think of this breath in its initial state. I want you to think of breathing, but releasing with this space. So if you guys can just do this with me, breathing in as deep as you can, fill yourself up as much as you can, hold your breath for a second, and then exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. One more time. Breathing in. And exhale. Very good, very good. All right. Now, at this moment, some of you may feel a little lightheaded. or even a little dizzy, I urge you, hold some alkaline water 9.5 or higher in your mouth right now for 20-30 seconds. Very good. If you've noticed, you feel calmer, you feel lighter. As I said, some of you might just got a little dizzy, and it's okay. Just hold that water in your mouth. Now, doing this, whether you're dizzy or not, holding the alkaline water 9.5 or higher is very important because we want to activate the nourishment within the body. I'll get into more details in a moment, but the basis of the breath, hydration, and the action within doing our breath and hydration is very important to meta healing, to helping almost any challenge come into a space of balance and relief. Now, as I said, the first universal law is mind, which is thought, which is energy, which energy is everything, all right? And the second universal principle is vibration, all right? And that vibration is the tempo, it's the texture of our thought, it's the, the how we modulate to be and function, whether we're in a vibratory reaction, or with the third principle, we take conscious action, because none of these principles are separate from the other. We are always maintaining an energetic thought, an energetic flow, and then we go from that energetic thought and that energetic flow, we go into maintaining a specific tempo and vibration. Oftentimes we call that vibration positive vibrations. Yes. All right. Now that vibration, all right, encourages to act. So we get into that action, all right? And so in understanding that those are the first three laws, we want to make sure that we're flowing, all right? In understanding that correspondence comes next. As above, so below, all right? And so in remembering that all that we experience on this plane, all right, in this plane of duality, is the same on the opposite side of it, all right? So, our view of what is light and what is dark, for instance, our light is action, light is movement, light is breathing, light is doing, light is feeling, all right? Or more than feeling, it's living in the action of doing. All right, it is the expression, the brightness of being. That is the yang. And then we have the dark of duality, which is the yin, which is the protective, which is the contemplative, the thought, thinking, the feeling. All right, this is our yin. This is our observing. All right, our holding back. All right, this is our yin. This is in our dark. This is in our fear. All right, this is in our anger and our frustrations, our worry and our displeasures, our grief. All right, this is our yin. And as I said, our yang is our light. It's the bright, it's the movement, it's the action, it's the doing. All right, and this is the duality that we live in. And so within this duality, we want to understand correspondence is that as above, so below. All right, so the highest height we can go means that we have felt its equal in depth. because we maintain this vibration, all right, and this constant action of movement. So choosing the action, staying in the energy of thought and keeping that thought positive, maintaining a good vibration, all right, setting in action. And because everything as above, so below, this is where, we find ourselves at the fourth correspondence going into the fifth, which is cause and effect. When we do and we act, it's always going to produce a cause and an effect. Now, that cause and effect is oftentimes not in correspondence with the intention, oftentimes, because sometimes the intention is good, but it is received badly. All right? And so understanding that whatever we express is going to have an effect, and that because we live in duality, that correspondence is as above, so below, we're going to cause positive or negative reactions towards our expressions. And the idea is remembering that as we go out, as we do, as we live in action, as we maintain a good, strong vibration, all right, and we try to keep our thoughts positive, all right, that the law of compensation, which is the sixth universal law of compensation, you want to always give and take, or give and receive, and it should always be even exchange. All right, there should always be a compensative exchange, in the sense that there will be a gain from doing the practice. All right, and a beneficial gain that is life affirming, that keeps you flowing and moving and doing and functioning. All right, and so we're at the sixth universal law, which is compensation. And the idea, as I said, it's not, compensation isn't always money, you know what I mean? It's the gratification we have in the doing that we do. All right, now granted, money does help us put food on the table, pay the bills, take care of the physical mondanuities, all right? Mundane shit. That's why I said mondanuities. So the idea is we want to make sure that those things are covered and taken care of, not in worry or anything, because remember, wherever our thoughts are, our vibration follows, and then the action of that vibration follows that, all right? And then we work into life's back and forth, ups and downs, adversity and calmness, and then we get into the cause and effect and how that benefits us. This is why I mentioned earlier that adversity is a gift, because it shows us our strength, it shows us our will and our desire. And the pain of adversity helps us to be stronger, to be better. All right. Now, within all of this understanding compensation, giving and go, we go to the seventh law, which is attraction. Now, if the first law is mind, and whatever we think of is energy, and energy is everything, all right? And once we maintain a set vibration, that is what we do. We act on that vibration, all right? And then it corresponds, that corresponding as above, so below, as that energy moves, as that energy flows, all right? We cause reactions that we're not aware that we're causing. That we're not aware that we're causing. So, I lost lost my train of thought real quick. Yes, cause and effect. All right, that we're not aware that we're causing, and then we go into even exchange, the law of even exchange or compensation. When we step out, we recognize if we stick with those first 5 laws, we then flow into this law of attraction where we attract what we focus on, what our vibration maintains. All right, the actions we take based on those thoughts that we're having. All right, how it corresponds to the divine, to the Most High, to those around us, our family, friends, and others. All right, and how we're compensated for that which we do, what we express, how we're flowing. We then attract wherever our energy is, wherever our mind is. All right. And then through that attraction, we start to realize that we can transform or transmutate because we now govern our mind, and it is human to have negative moments. It's human. Nobody's going to be positive all the time, all right? But understanding and learning tools to transmute that energy, and this is where we come to our 8th law, which is perpetual transmutation of energy. All right, when we come there, how we transform the energy that we're vibrating at that we don't want to be at. All right, for example, believe it or not, I used to be a very, very angry person. All right, and you know, whenever I felt that anger and frustration, I would remove myself because, you know, when I was younger, I was one of those kids that always got into fights and stuff like that, right? And now, when I feel, rather than reacting, because my family used to say I could react to the drop of a pen, all right? And I've trained myself, and not always, granted, you know, I'm human, we all have moments where we revisit our lesser selves, all right, and would be very reactive. And one of the things that helped me to learn the perpetual transmutation of energy, and I'm still trying to perfect this and getting better and better every day, is as long as I am in reaction, something or someone else is controlling me. But if I am choosing my action, meaning catch myself, hold, oftentimes they'll say count to 10, all right, and breathe, very important, you can shift that energy to what you need it to be, rather than reacting to the displeasure of whatever is causing your energy to be out of balance. All right. Now, it's recognizing that transmuting energy and transforming energy isn't just the same as it is in some ways the same as transmuting and transforming your emotions from a negative space into a positive space, which of course, if you look at the universal laws, is saying, hey, to get out of that, you gotta get in your mind to vibrate at a higher level through the actions that you take to alleviate, feed yourself active, get into a action. And with meta healing balancing, it's understanding what are the actions that I can take. All right, granted, yes, in life we have actions. You can exercise, you can work out, you can go learn how to fly a plane or jump out a plane, you can go play basketball, you can do all of these activities, all right, that help you to distract yourself from where you are. But in meta healing balancing, it's understanding how to tune in and where the different tools are on this body to help us to pair in and reshape ourselves in the manner that we want for ourselves. All right. And so the whole aspect of transmuting energy, yes, it is transforming and transmuting that negative expression to a positive expression, but it's also transmuting the energies that come at you. All right. The minute you feel defensive, this is one aspect of how we can look at the law of perpetual transformation. All right. But the key to transforming everything is acceptance. All right. And the ninth law is the law of divine timing. I find that to be so apt, because sometimes we want to be in a space before we're ready for it. And no matter how much we do, it pulls us back to that space because we're not willing to let go of our own expectations and recognize everything happened in its own divine timing. All right. And there's a space of acceptance that's necessary. All right. Accept how you feel. See where that feeling is. Notice the change as it happens. It's through observing those shifts back to balance that helps remind your body what balance is. All right. And as we look at the law of divine timing, I look at the ninth law, all right, which is acceptance, or the law of divine timing. All right. And then once we flow into this, we're moving, we're saying, okay, I got the energy, I'm working on this energy, I'm creating a good vibration. All right, I'm in action, I'm doing what I need to do to make sure that I stay in that action. I'm staying in my awareness, all right, of what's happening above and below, connecting with all my ancestors and my divine angels. All right. I'm also recognizing that in all that I do, there's a cause and effect. All right. And because we live in that land of duality, that cause and effect can be based on perception. All right. But in recognizing that we want that ability to correspond, to get compensated, all right, by being aware of what we're receiving and what we're giving, all right, and knowing that once we're staying in action, anyone in action is going to attract. You're going to attract whatever it is you focus on, all right, and as you focus on and attracting, you're gonna have haters, and haters are gonna come in, and then you're gonna feel like hurt, which is gonna be a distraction. You're gonna be angry, which is gonna be a distraction, and you're gonna have to transmute that anger, that frustration, that rage, that disgust. You're gonna have to transmute that energy, and learning how to transmute that so that it works for you rather than against you. All right. And then coming into a space of acceptance, gratitude, recognizing that everything happens on its own divine timing. All right. Then we have the law of relativity. All right. I find that correspondence and relativity to me are hand in hand, as above, so below. It's relative. Everything is relative. Everything is flowing from our perception, all right, and how we choose to apply that. So I find that these last few laws are replicas of the first several, but a different expansion on them, all right. So we're getting into, as I said, the eighth one was the law of divine timing, all right, acceptance, gratitude, staying in that space and acting from that space. Relativity, everything is relative. It's really based on perception, and everything's for a time, all right. Now, the 11th law is the law of polarity. All right, just as the law of attraction, we can be polar opposites and push away. All right, we attract and we pull, and so being able to manipulate, control, shape, reshape that through better understanding of the body and its points, its cells, what I like to term as the biocenters of the body. We can modulate, change the tempo, change the tune, turn up the bass, turn down the treble, all right, and modulate. So we're able to flow better and create, which is the 12th law, a better rhythm that we live by. We live by this rhythm. We're moving with this rhythm. We're flowing in this rhythm. And ultimately, we want to make sure that, the rhythm that we're on is the rhythm of our own design and not the design of someone else or something else. Now, granted, we may not understand what we do want sometimes, and that's okay, because in time our experiences help us to see, feel, do that which our heart yearns for. Now, understanding that, we in life, we all create a rhythm that we try to go to. When that rhythm gets interrupted, we get we get messed up, and we start doubting ourselves. All right, we start thinking that maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe what I'm saying isn't getting through to people. Maybe in my efforts to share my helping myself, that I'm and share to help others help themselves as well, because I think everyone should know how to heal themselves. Everyone has the power of healing. Everyone has the gift of energy. Everyone has the gift of vibration. The actions, if you learn the specific actions that you can take to create that, it allows you to get into this flow. And then so where we're at rhythm, we maintain a rhythm, which, as I said, is our 12th law. All right, but ultimately it all comes down to belief. What we believe becomes. It's the same as saying what we focus on is what we attract, but what we believe becomes. All right, now granted, yes, we can get to the idea of breaking down believe, saying that to be is to live a lie, but it is only a lie because it's based on the perception, and perception varies from many. All right, so to believe is to live in your truth, to be life. Living in your truth, that is life. Going through it, believe it. Believe that what you have done, what you've created for yourself, whether it's an alleviation of pains and frustrations, or if it's creating something outstanding and amazing, or if it's just getting out and helping one person cross the street. You gotta learn how to believe, not just in yourself, but believe in the world, believe in the universe. All right, believe in the divine, all right, aspects of existence. Yes, we live in a land of duality, and there are a lot of dark, crazy expressions that exist. But at Meta Healing Balancing Center, we're all about balance and recognizing that there is dark and light. All right, and we want to expand. I like to think that of dark and light as acidic and alkaline. Alkaline is that light, that movement, that everything is circulating and feeling wonderful. And that acidic is that dark. It's that what do you call that when it's infestive? It's just getting down into destruction and decay, depression, all of that. That's the dark. This is duality. It's always in duality. And so when we bring it to the body and its functions, it's understanding how to move that so that we can be in better balance, not to eliminate. I think oftentimes we think we have to eliminate what isn't doing good for us. And it isn't about elimination. It's about limitation or modulating. I think more, rather than eliminate, modulate. All right, modulating the energy, modulating the toxicity within the body, so that you get yourself to a point where you're at a toxically livable space. All right, which means that you have at least 30% acidity, so that you can live in 70% alkalinity, so that you can thrive, all right, rather than foster not thriving. So in the same sense, I wanted to share that the last law is the law of gender. This is the 14th law, all right? And this is just me using the 14 laws of the universe, all right? And so in this last law, it's understanding the nature of gender is duality. I'm going to say that again. The nature of gender is duality. For in energy, we have strong energies, weak energies, when we choose to look at duality from that concept. All right, and in deities, we got all-powerful deities, and we got deities that govern this specific action, thing, emotion. You see what I'm saying? Here at Meta Healing Balancing Center, we come into a better understanding of not just these 14 universal laws, but how we apply those 14 universal laws into a practice based on what is presenting itself by following the associative corresponding likenesses. All right, and so through doing that, we're able to expand ourselves in our mind, alleviate different dysfunctions within the body, all right, and elevate our spirit, our being, ourselves. All right, so here at Meta Healing Balancing Center, it's learning how to find balance within every aspect of you. And I think that it's hard for us to know balance or even judge what balance is, especially if we've never been in balance, if we've always had a pain, a limp, a personality quirk, you know, and which is all of us, all right? And I found that understanding what balance is learning how to find and feel that balance. And I would urge you to come learn here at Meta Healing Balancing Center how to balance muscles, tissues, organs, energy, being, lightness, heaviness, darkness, goals, perception, all right, stress. So a letting go of all of these things is one of the major aspects of meta healing balancing, learning many different techniques. Now, I have like 10 minutes left. I want to share some of the many different aspects. So in meta healing balancing, we express energy, much as I said within the 14 laws, is exactly within that. And so within that, energy and vibration, understanding how to create. And so we get literal with something. So I have different meditation techniques that we do where we're touching in on specific points and areas that aid with generating the vibration and or creating the polarity necessary to invoke the shift or that we want within ourselves. But it's acknowledging what it is we want to release, what do we want to let go, and knowing what we want to put in. So when we talk about energy, you're going to learn where the five energy layers of the body, what lies within those five energy layers, where are the seven main chakras of the body, and what lies within those. How can I manipulate, shape, change, or reset those different areas for myself and for others? Where are the elemental points on the hands and feet that help when we can't work with the body the way that we would like to, when we can't be as direct to the pain, nor when we have internal dysfunctions that we want to address, utilizing these energy pools on the body, and where on the front and back of the body, the front aspects, where on the front can alert us to dysfunction, and where on the back will help us to penetrate deeply into the body to create change. So that's the first, going through our understanding of energy and the body. All right, and then from there we go into, we have different practices of applying that understanding. We have different meditative practices, we have different body work practices, we have different energetic layers and energetic learnings, such as Reiki, Vibes Kadar. Reiki is universal energy, and Vibes Kadar is universal potential. Okay, and so we learn how to combine those into creating better, more balanced healing, and how to connect with all the different energies that do exist, and how we can utilize those different energies for healing, for good, for balancing self and staying in the light, right? And so that is the first phase of meta healing balancing. And second phase of meta healing balancing is physical understanding. What is the anterior balance of the body? Where does it lie, and how to alleviate those dysfunctions or contractions that are causing the body to hold and shift. All right, so we get into the physical aspect of balancing the body. All right, and after balancing the physical body and your ability to feel that out, move and feel the change or the shift in that balance without force. This is balancing the body by utilizing breath, or rather, how would I say it? It's using positioning, breath, and movement, all right, to allow the muscles to pull you back into balance. This way we are not ever forcing the body into a state. We're allowing the body to find its state of balance, and that is one of the key aspects to when we work physically, is understanding angles, positioning, and what everything means when we and what angles work and what angles don't. Okay, so we go into that aspect. Then we get into the different layers of conversations with the divine, connecting with you through tarot or oracle reading or energetic guidance. All right, understanding what is an enteric being. All right, and how do we deal with these different entities and enterics that come into our sphere, and how do we banish those things, eliminate those things, and how do we harness the powers of the angels and deities that exist to aid us in our continued life through practice and awareness. All right, so those are basically the three phases of meta healing balancing, and it's of course checks and balance. You got to learn the body. You got to learn what muscles are and where they're located and what they do, how they move, how they function. You got to understand the breath, how and the systems of the body. You know, how we utilize the breath, why we utilize the breath, how blood flows within the body, and how to engage the body from a extremely superficial to an quantum level cellular change or capillaric change within the body. So it's understanding so that we're creating balance on those deeper levels as well as more expanded levels as we take on light little tweaks to our normalcy day to day that allows us to flow in the direction of our own individual desires. Not my desire, but your desire. How to find balance for you, all right, individually. And the beauty is that the body's the body. Everyone has one, all right? And as long as we have these bodies, if we can learn what the different areas correspond to and how to reshape dysfunction, then we can learn how to manipulate those different aspects within the body to allow ourselves to be free within ourselves. And so in this manner, we're able to have multi-layered healing and multi-dimensional aspects. Of course, yes, we can get into the whole concepts of time travel, and we can get into the whole concepts of esoteric change and advancement and enteric existence and what they mean and say. But the focus in meta healing balancing is meta healing to the human being, how to help us find balance on our many multidimensional layers that exist. All right, so thank you very much. Once again, I'm J. Manuel Hodge. I'm a doctor of metaphysics and divinities and a integrative medicine physician. All right, my hope is to produce this program to help bring awareness to how we can tap into our energy and use it to help heal our bodies or others, to help heal others. So how to tap into your own healing potential. And that is what mental healing balancing is all about. All the different layers of the body, all the different layers of energy, how to harness, use, how to cultivate, harness, use, and move that energy. We utilize Qigong practices, Qigong meditations. We utilize esoteric knowledge and bringing that into physical activity. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you as part of Meta Healing Balancing Center to learn how to harness your potential, or just simply learn practical tools that you can apply to help you when in dysfunction. All right, thank you very much. Have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful day. Peace, love, and light to everyone.